As a kid, I was very bad with understanding social etiquette. Or more specifically, how to not overshare or talk with strangers, no matter how many times my parents warned me. I was around 8 or 9 at the time. My mom had brought me to McDonald's with her friend who had a daughter so we could play in the indoor play place after eating. It was decently late, around 7 or 8. I don't remember why we were there so late, or what we had done earlier that day. But the McDonald's was pretty much empty, except for us, the staff, and one man sitting alone at a table near the play area. Of course, for whatever reason, little me, seeing a person alone, went up to him with my friend to start a conversation. I introduced myself and her and started talking about my interests, my school, and a lot of things I don't really remember. I don't remember him replying either, but we eventually left him alone after he called someone on his phone and started speaking a different language. I didn't recognize it, and I don't remember it enough now to take a good guess of what it was. My friend and I kept playing until the man left. Then, a few hours later, a big man and a young girl, roughly the same age as us at the time, entered the McDonald's. The girl ran up to the glass, dividing the counters from the play area, and yelled my name excitedly. I went over, despite not recognizing her. She started telling me a bunch of things about myself, implying she knew me and I forgot her. She wanted me to come outside and hang out with her. I realized now as an adult, the things she was saying were the things I had told the man that was sitting near the play place. I, being an oblivious, naive child, was just about ready to go out with her when my mom finally caught on and ran over to grab me. She dragged me out the other exit to the car. She was clearly terrified and stressed. I was confused and was demanding to know why she wouldn't let me hang out with that girl. My mom wouldn't answer, and she tore out of the parking lot. The man with the little girl got in his own car and began chasing us. My mom went down several different roads until finally we had lost them. When we got home, I was in serious trouble, and she explained to me that this was most likely a kidnapping scheme, and that I really needed to stop telling strangers so much information about myself. I didn't understand how a little girl my age would be involved with kidnapping another kid. Not to mention, I didn't understand the motivation of kidnapping at all. Now that I'm older, I realize this was a truly horrifying situation that I just narrowly avoided if it wasn't for my mom. I don't want to imagine what could have happened to me and my friend. My friend and I were bored one weekend and decided to go to a popular beach to take some pictures and mess around. So we took some pictures and had a really lovely day. Then on the way back we were starving, so we decided to stop at McDonald's in the beach town. This town is really famous and nice. A bunch of celebrities live there and it's beautiful. There's also a super famous restaurant right off the highway on the beach that's known for celebrities and rich people going. This McDonald's was directly across the street from the restaurant. Since so many famous people go to this restaurant and it's on a busy road, most of them have drivers that take them. The drivers would usually hang out in the parking lot of the McDonald's while their bosses ate across the street. My friend and I didn't know this at the time. So, we go to McDonald's, and right when we get out of the car, my friend starts to act really weird. She triple checks the car's locked, and grabs her fancy camera to bring inside. I ask her what's up, and she says there is a group of guys standing in front of McDonald's smoking and staring at us. It was giving her the creeps. I'm a pretty chill and trusting person, so I don't think much of it. It's a busy place in a super nice town. So, we go in, we get our food, and sit down at the table to eat. One of the men from outside comes in and sits a few booths down with his back to the wall, right where he can see us. My back is to him, but my friend gets really creeped out and wants to leave. This guy isn't eating or anything, he's just staring at us. Again, this is a pretty crowded McDonald's in one of the nicest towns in South California, so I feel pretty safe. Living in South Central, you get used to the odd creeps. Still, she was freaked out, so I agreed to go. I just had to run to the bathroom first. It was one of those McDonald's where the counter and the main dining room were in one big room, and then there was a sort of hallway to the side of the counter with more seating and the bathroom at the end, way in the back. There was also a door going outside right next to the bathroom. The bathroom had only 2 stalls. I walked into the first stall not really paying attention to whether anyone was in there. So I'm in there doing my thing, and I hear the door open, and I hear my friend call my name. At this point, I'm very confused, since she's supposed to be watching her stuff. So I call out, "Yeah, what's up?" She asks, "Are you okay?" "Yeah," I replied. She said, "Oh, okay," and just stood there in the doorway. After a second, I hear her leave, so I finish up and walk out of the bathroom, and see her waiting by the door with all her stuff in her hands. I ask her what's going on and why she came into the bathroom calling my name, and she just looks at me really panicky and says that we need to leave right now. We rush out to the car and she starts telling me what happened. Turns out, when I walked into the bathroom, the creepy guy followed me in and had entered the stall next to mine. I wasn't aware that anyone had entered the bathroom next to me because he didn't close the stall door when he came in. My friend was on her phone, so she didn't see him follow me either. A young guy noticed it and went up to my friend asking if we knew the guy. Frantic, she told him we did not and ran to check on me. He was in the stall next to me with the door open, not making a sound. She came in and didn't see him, so she called my name to make sure I was alive, and he rushed out of the stall past her. She was in shock and didn't know what to do other than gather our things and prepare to run. When we went to the car, he was sitting in his big black car with tinted windows next to us, still staring. We sped off, and when I heard the story, we called the McDonald's to let them know what had happened, and then we called the non-emergency sheriff line to report it as well. Both refused to do anything. Eventually, my mom got involved and threatened to blast it all over social media if they didn't take my report seriously. And finally, she got a hold of someone at corporate from the McDonald's. They checked their cameras and they saw the guy follow me in. A police report was made. So, picture this. It's about 4 in the morning. One of those cold, damp London weekdays where the air feels heavy and clings to you. I'd fallen down a video game rabbit hole, surfaced hours later, and realized 2 things. Number 1, it was obscenely late. And number 2, I'd completely forgotten to eat dinner. A quick, desperate scan of the kitchen confirmed the worst. Nothing. My only hope was the 24-hour McDonald's down the road. It was maybe a 10-minute walk, mostly through quiet suburban streets that felt almost unnervingly still at the hour. Coat on, I headed out into the pre-dawn gloom. Habit took over, and I immediately stuck my earphones in, scrolling through my phone to catch up on the messages and notifications I'd blissfully ignored for the past several hours. In hindsight, I know exactly how that looks. Headphones in, face lit by a phone screen, completely oblivious to the world at 4 a.m. Prime target material. I was about halfway there when I registered movement just behind me. I glanced back. There was a guy, swallowed by an oversized hoodie, riding a bicycle. Except it wasn't a normal bicycle. It was painfully obviously a child's pink bicycle. The tiny frame looked almost ridiculous underneath him. He wasn't going anywhere specific, just doing slow, wide loops on the empty street, always ending up slightly behind me. Now, I've lived in London for about 3 years. You see weird stuff, it's part of the background noise. My default programming kicked in. Head down, keep walking, and don't make eye contact. He'll get bored. Standard operating procedure for navigating the city's low-level strangeness. But then, he wasn't behind me anymore. He smoothly cycled up right next to me, matching my pace. The ignore it strategy suddenly felt very thin. He was muttering something. It was clear he wanted my attention. Reluctantly, I pulled out one of my earbuds, still walking, trying for casual indifference. My automatic defense mechanism fired off before I even properly heard him. "I'm sorry, I don't have any change." That's when I made the mistake of actually looking at him. He wasn't asking for change. His eyes locked onto mine, and there was a hard, focused intensity there that almost set off alarm bells. My gaze flickered down. His right hand was shoved deep into the front pocket of his hoodie, pushing the fabric outwards. It was a slow, dawning realization, more like a sudden plunge in the ice water. The casual weirdness evaporated, replaced by cold, sharp-edged fear. That's when I properly registered his words, spoken low but clear. "Give me your phone." My feet kept moving, seemingly on autopilot, but the rest of me still felt frozen. My brain felt like it was buffering, trying to process the demand against the very real possibility of what was in that pocket. Is he bluffing? Is that a knife? Is this phone I literally just got and definitely cannot afford to replace, worth getting stabbed over? The mental calculus was frantic and terrifying. We were still moving forward side by side in this bizarre, terrifying mobile standoff. Me staring straight ahead, hyper aware of him beside me, my mind racing. And then, a sound. The distinct rumble of a car engine growing louder. Headlights swept across the end of the street, illuminating the junction just yards ahead. A brief moment of blinding light. I shot a look back at the guy on the tiny pink bike. The thought flashed. Run. Make a break for the car, for the light. But before the thought could even translate into action, he abruptly swerved. He pushed off hard on the tiny pedals, cycling rapidly away down the street, disappearing back into the shadows as quickly as he'd appeared. If you liked these stories and want to hear more like them, like and subscribe because I'm poor. Thank you.